Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show. And today we're going to ask the question, when will this historic run come to an end? When would be a good time to lock in some profits? And of course, we're also going to talk about yesterday's trade, the serve trade. I hope you got in that trade that popped off. We're going to look at that trade as well as the United Health trade that I gave a few weeks ago and is now almost up 100% since I gave that entry. Of course, before we do that, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people and, of course, does help support the channel. And if you're brand new, welcome to the channel. Smash that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, and you'll get those daily updates. So we are on a historic run in the stock market. As you can see here, is up 31% over the last 5 months. I don't know who could have told you that, who could have given you entries at the bottom. Oh, wait, there they all were there in the yellow with Tribal Trades, in the Tribal Trades Discord, all these incredible levels and incredible run up that we've had. And of course, it is a massive 16.6 trillion in value. Absolutely incredible since that happened. However, there is a little bit of a disconnect, and the disconnect is here that retail investors sold 700 million US equities. This is the second weekly sale over the last 3 weeks. And this comes after nearly 36 straight weeks of buying. So retail was buying the April dip. However, Wall Street has been only buying since about the beginning of August, because at the same time, institutional investors bought 1.1 billion, posting those 6 straight weekly purchases. If you go back 6 weeks, it's the beginning of August, and they basically FOMOing in on this pump, hoping that it's going to continue. Maybe it will. I want to ask your question. Wall Street is buying and Main Street is selling. I can tell you in the April dip, it was a retail that was buying. Retail was the pump there, and now Wall Street are jumping in. And maybe we can have a little bit of a switch here where the Main Street is the smart money and selling into strength, and Wall Street, the institutional money, is the FOMO, and they become retail's exit liquidity, because that's what it is right now. Right now, institutional money is retail's exit liquidity. Okay, so and I do think there'll be a rate cut of 25 basis points, and I do think that is priced in, and I do think there will be a bit of a sell the news event. Now, just because I think it doesn't mean it's going to happen. I don't have a crystal ball. I just think that's the highest probability. That's the most likely scenario there. Nothing is guaranteed. Okay, we have the SPY, and the SPY just keeps putting in a new all-time high has come again. We're at 656, the next level up. We just keep going up and there, and so we're looking for some kind of a pullback if it were to come. Like, of course, we are in this inverse head and shoulders. I gave this pattern all the way back around 600. So even if you missed my buy alerts at around $480 and $500, you could have still got in. I gave it again at 600, and this one is all the way up here, but we're climbing there at about 724, and we're not that far away. It could this could be something that we see through to the end of the year. Of course, we could get stuck at 694, 700. We may not fulfill that all this year. And of course, if we were to dump below 600, which would be quite some collapse, that would invalidate that inverse head and shoulders for the SPY. And of course, all the way back in April, the Tribal Trades indicator, one indicator to rule them all, gave us that magnificent entry to get in on the SPY there. Absolutely fantastic, as that just continues to climb and the market continues to pump in historic levels there. Okay, let's look at Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has been an incredible trade here. I gave an entry at the 108. I gave another entry around here at 110. I gave another entry here at 112. The technical target has been 117. There is this inverse head and shoulders. I talked about this yesterday. I talked about this last week when I identified it. I gave the breakout level there at 112. I shared this on YouTube. I shared this in the Discord, and we're on our way there. 116,300, pretty close to that $117,000 level. Guys, I'm giving you these trade gift wrap. If you're not making money, it's because you're simply just not taking the trades. And you don't get what you wish for, you get what you work for. I tell my kids all the time, don't be upset about the results you don't get from the work that you didn't put in. Get up early, get these videos, get these levels. Yes, have stop losses, of course, because not all the trades always work out. However, the majority of them do, a high percentage of them do. And of course, once we get to 117, I would reassess to see whether I felt in the charts we were going to move up higher. We are getting close to a potential green dot on the weekly. And we're going to keep an eye on, and as soon as there is a green dot there on the weekly, I will be alerting that there, because then I would feel that there would be some more upside. I'm not saying that we'll make a new all-time high, but I think therefore that this run would continue into the later part of the year. But if this stays as a blue arrow and rolls over, then and we get the what do we get here, the orange arrow, then it's quite possibly that is at the end. I will keep that all updated. All right, let's look at the serve trade very quickly. So one of the things I identified was the green dot on the weekly and how this has generally led to huge pumps. Of course, the green dot on the weekly has been epic, and this really, the tribal trades indicator, if you just use the weekly time frame and just stayed patient and waited for stocks or crypto to print the weekly green dot on the weekly, look at these epic gains. So this printed, I gave the trade yesterday. I gave it both in the Tribal Trades Discord and on the YouTube channel, and it popped, okay? It absolutely popped. I gave the level, which was $10.98 was the level for it to get above. That was your signal to get in the trade, and look what happened. It absolutely took off. Look, this is where I gave it. Yeah, I did the YouTube video at about 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right around here, I gave the trade, and I actually said I was taking the trade at $10.82 on the break of the 9 EMA on the hour, and look what happened. I actually got out in profit, got back in again, and this I think can continue to its technical target to the upside. And the technical target that I do have for this trade to the upside is all the way up here at around about almost $20, $19 or $20. Now, of course, I do believe that there will be some pit stops on the way up. That Fibonacci that we've seen hit a couple of times at $12, it's been hit in the past. It almost got up to that level there, and I will be keeping the Discord updated with additional levels to the upside. But I do think, of course, 12, 13, and you can see here around that 14, 13. So I think there will be pit stops at 12, 13, and 14. And then from there, we could see a really big move to the upside to $19 or $20. Of course, these moves can be invalidated. How would it be invalidated? If it was to come back into the range below the 200-day moving average and then come back into this wedge here, that would invalidate this target to the upside. And this is why it's so important to lock in profits while the profits are there to lock in. I also wanted to revisit the United Health trade that I gave at about $12 way back, all the way back here. I gave this trade and it took off like a rocket ship. I do think there is still more juice to squeeze potential in this. So you have to be careful because there is a Department of Justice probe into this company. And so, of course, very important to set your stop losses. But I do have the technical target up here at around the 200 EMA on the daily, which is $390. I do actually think it can get all the way back up here to around 492. Of course, there'll be levels, but let's just take it level to level. Let's get our target for this play. Of course, it can be invalidated. It can come back and break below this level for this inverse head and shoulder, which is that breakout level, which is about 313. I actually gave this trade at about 265 there for United Health. So I do think there is still some juice to squeeze for this. Where would be the next level from here? Well, of course, any break above this Fibonacci at about $22.72. That next level up is $24, and then you can see 25, 26, and up to $29 there for that move. Okay, there is just a little bearishness on the 4-hour chart there. You see a little bit of bearish divergence there where we make that high and then we make a higher high, and we've made a low there. So a little bit there. However, I do say when you have these big moves to the upside, sometimes bearish divergences can take some time to play out. Sometimes they can be invalidated as well, and you can get double and triple and even quadruple bearish divergences before it even plays out. But I do want to make everybody aware of this, where I'm sharing about this trade in case it does start playing out right away. And of course, even if those bearish divergences, we get double, triple, quadruple, the price can escalate hugely to the upside before they even start to play out. However, this trade here, I think the 9 EMA on the 4 hour at about $21.68 isn't a bad little spot. And then a little bit further down at about $20.56 there. Of course, the 9 EMA on the daily would be much better. I'm just not sure when it's going to come back to that level and what level that will be there, which it will come back to it at some point, but the 9 EMA might be all the way up here at $21 or $20 before it comes back to it. That's currently sitting at $19.40. Now, if you would like to get the Tribal Trades indicator, which I have been sharing and talking about, you can see again how wonderful this green dot led to this huge move to the upside, more green dots and green arrows leading to the upside, the red ones to the downside. I would recommend joining the Tribal Trades Discord, one Discord to rule them all. And I had one of the best testimonials that I have ever had in the Tribal Trades Discord here. You saw Dirac had a huge day trading serve. He got in, bought 2,000 shares. So he made a bucket load there on that trade. That he has membership in 4 other Discords. And he says that he wins or loses, and in the end, it's almost equal. But in the tribal traders, almost have 100% wins, and they are really big. Now, is it just my luck, or is there something magical about Tribal Trader? And I genuinely want to thank him with all my heart. Well, thank you, Dirac, for sharing that incredible testimonial there. And Dirac is somebody that is he's putting in the work. He's taking the trades. He's researching. I don't know if he takes all of my trades. He's picking the trades. He's making the money. And we had the saying in the Discord, you got to risk it for the biscuit. Take the trades, because scared money don't make money. And I've shared a whole bunch of new stock and crypto plays. Of course, I don't even have time to get into all of those. That's just one of the many wins that we've had over the last few days. Absolutely incredible. So I appreciate that. And if you're looking to join the Tribal Trades Discord, there is a link in the description of this video. You might need to click the more button. It's just below in the description of this video. You might need to click the more button, and that will pop out, and you can click on the link. Now, it's not going to give you access to the Tribal Trades Discord right away. There is a wait list. Okay, but the sooner you get on the wait list, the sooner you can get access to the Tribal Trades Discord. I just moved some people off the wait list yesterday and this morning into the main area of the Tribal Trades Discord so they can take advantage of the new trades that I was given. And of course, the Tribal Trades system. You get access to the Tribal Trades indicator. It's a paid indicator. You can't get it without the Tribal Trades Discord membership. And so that comes included with the membership. There's no extra cost. And of course, the whole Tribal Trades trading system there, all the lessons there on how to learn, how to take the trades, where to take profit, how to stop out, and how to set up your charts and more. Okay. So thank you all again for tuning in. That's all I have time for today. So until the next episode, or until I see you in the Discord, happy trading.